best practices is like a dream come true. Should we start there?
I was burnt out from the amount of hours that I was working and doing multiple jobs, trying to raise a family, and I knew nothing about the business end.
I had always had the intention of starting a private practice out on my own, but was reluctant to do so based on the amount of fear I had involving the administrative work and the maintaining books and insurance claims. So best practices really made that possible.
So my part-time was doing per diem outpatient counseling, and I always wanted to do private practice. And reasons that I didn't go into private practice was because of the paperwork and abundance of responsibilities, I guess, of insurance and impaneling, and building my clientele was fear-based, and there was a lot of fear in me going into private practice by myself and really not knowing what I was doing administratively.
Yeah, I was doing my own billing, and I was getting some help from my spouse, and but it was rough. I'm a ADD kind of guy, and I'm scattered and not terribly focused, and so there was a lot that I was good at getting the bills out. I wasn't necessarily good at making sure that I was getting the payments.
One of my college professors was already using best practices. So when I reached out to him to find out how I get started, he was like, well, I have this great team that I work with that you should probably reach out to, and they could really help you a lot. So I did.
I do remember hearing from a friend of mine who had told me about best practices and said, maybe this is something you want to consider, knowing that I wanted to do my own private practice. And she had told me her experience, and I was like, I don't know. That doesn't sound, it sounds too good to be true.
When I came to best practices, I was trying to achieve a fully independent practice on my own without, having to spend time without clients doing administrative work and billing and things that are not billable services. So I was really trying to achieve a sense of independence in the field and a partnership with a practice that had experience being able to build and grow other practices. And I believe that best practices has a really good record of doing that. So I was excited to work with them.
Personally, I wanted more time to travel. That was, my back pocket dream that I wanted to do. But I really just wanted to take what I learned working for other programs and kind of fine-tune things, because I saw a lot of gaps in treatment that weren't being filled. And best practices helped me do that, to expand my own business and to do things the way I felt was in the best interest of those I would be serving.
No, I really wanted to enhance my billing collection. That was this part that was a problem, but I also was interested in the other services. The thought that I wouldn't have to call an insurance company and verify the insurance and all the hassles that go along with this, and that when appropriate, I didn't have to do the scheduling. Some of that was done for me, and those things were like fringe extras, but they were delightful. Yeah.
Or when signing on with best practice, I didn't have to worry about any of that paperwork. It was basically, again, carefree. They took care of everything. They took care of impaneling me with the insurances, and they would request information from me. I would give it to them, and then from that point on, they kind of took the ball from me, and I didn't have to worry about any of the process of onboarding other insurance companies.
Best practices was very realistic with me on what my income would be early on. So when I came to the table with I want to take on this amount of clients, it was, all right, at that you're looking at your income being X amount. And through every step of the way, I knew to meet my financial goals what I needed to bring to the table as far as appointment availability and stuff, and I have been able to meet and I feel exceed my expectations.
So best practices has always been able to work with the amount of slots I have available. The quantity has been really kept pace with what it is I need to establish a successful practice. I don't think there's been any point where I've had empty slots on my calendar. And they're always mindful of being able to provide the types of clients that I like to work with. So they align my skills and my experience with the right kinds of clients that I know I can be successful with.
Somebody calls and Thursday I have to take my dog to the vet. I don't have to deal with that. And that's nice because they are able to move people around. They know where my open slots are. And if there isn't an opening, they'll call and ask if I wanted to add one. And you can accommodate that. And the text messages to the patients reminding them of their appointments, that's obviously reduced the number of no-shows. So that's been great. Yeah.
Yes, best practices definitely helped me achieve the work-life balance very well. When I first started, I would say like the first year and a half, actually, it was hard for me to get used to it because I was so used to the pressure that working for a facility or another program would put on me. So I kept up that momentum. But with the collaboration between, best practices and myself, and them actually checking on me and being like, hey, you're looking a little overworked. Are you doing okay? Are you taking time for yourself? It's given me time to reflect and be like, I don't have to do that same hustle anymore. I can, start my day later and go to the beach, or I can end earlier and go out to dinner with my family, and just meet my family's needs, just not my needs and my financial needs as well.
A lot of therapists understand the challenges of maintaining a work-life balance. We work a lot of late hours. A lot of us have family responsibilities outside the office. And best practices really relieve the burden of that tremendously by not having to confirm appointments for me, not having to schedule the appointments, not having to be in the office on weekends doing paperwork and billing and tracking down insurance claims. So best practices really does enhance, the quality of life outside the office for therapists in that way as well.
So when speaking with my clients, I always ask them about their experience with the office management. And I can't get enough great feedback. And it's times when I don't even ask them that they tell me how wonderful the staff at Best Practices is. Friendly, courtesy, professional. They are, very happy and pleased with the customer service that they receive from Best Practices. And I truly appreciate that because that makes me look good as a clinician.
Feedback has been just rave reviews. The company, the people that work answering the phones are very professional, and they have appropriate range of emotions themselves. They can laugh along with a patient. They can be appropriately connected when somebody calls either angry or sad, and they've been very helpful.
I couldn't ask for anything more. I really couldn't. Best Practices has really provided that to me, that I don't have to worry, that they are there for me anytime that I need them.